You do not eat noodles thinking about your kidneys. You eat because you are hungry, tired, or simply craving something warm and familiar. Then, a few hours later, your body answers back. Your mouth feels a little dry. Your hand seems slightly fuller than usual. The next morning, your energy is not as clean as it should be. Most people blame salt or getting older. They never suspect the type of noodle sitting in the bowl. But here is the truth. To your kidneys, food is not comfort. It is workload. Some noodles move through gently, leaving almost nothing behind. Others carry minerals and waste that your kidneys must work hard to clear long after the meal is over. Today, we will look at 3 common rice noodles and how each one speaks a different language to your kidneys. And the third option on this list catches many people off guard. It looks like ordinary everyday food, yet it behaves in a completely different way once you understand how your body responds to it. Let's get into it. Number 1, white rice vermicelli. At first glance, it looks almost too ordinary to matter. No bright packaging, no promises printed on a label, just thin white strands sitting quietly in a bowl. Yet, for your kidneys, ordinary can be exactly what they need. Many people grow up believing that brown noodles or whole grains are automatically healthier. For general nutrition, that idea makes sense, but kidneys follow a different set of rules. Their only concern is how much work arrives after a meal, how many minerals, how much sodium, how much leftover waste must be pulled out of the blood while you sleep. When that load is heavy, the body answers in subtle ways. You wake at night with a dry mouth. Your rings feel tighter in the morning. Energy feels dull, even after a full night of rest. Most people blame age or salt, rarely the type of noodle in the bowl. This noodle fits the kidneys because it is naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, 2 minerals that can slowly accumulate and increase pressure on the filtration system. Kidney-friendly eating is not about perfect foods. It is about reducing unnecessary weight, so the kidneys can work at a calm, steady rhythm instead of fighting a daily overload. Digestion is another quiet advantage. Made from refined rice, this noodle breaks down gently and turns into usable energy without creating a long trail of byproducts. Imagine your kidneys as a filter that prefers a light, predictable stream rather than a crowded highway at midnight. This meal keeps the traffic moving. And it is important to be honest about one thing. This noodle does not detox the kidneys. Nothing in a bowl can do that. The benefit is simpler. It supports your body by staying out of the way, allowing natural filtration to happen without extra interference. Preparation decides whether the meal remains gentle. Boil the noodles in plain water until tender, then give them a quick rinse. That small step removes excess starch and helps soften blood sugar spikes, which over years can quietly damage kidney function. What you add to the bowl matters even more. A low-sodium broth is a friend. Salty soup bases are not. Too much sodium makes the body hold water and raises blood pressure, both of which push the kidneys to work harder than they should. Homemade broth or a clearly labeled low-sodium option keeps the meal respectful. Protein needs the same balance. Lean choices like skinless chicken, fish, shrimp, or tofu provide nourishment without producing excessive waste. Vegetables should be chosen with care. Cabbage, carrots, zucchini, and bean sprouts add fiber and support digestion while keeping potassium reasonable. The common mistake is turning a light dish into a heavy one with processed sauces. Soy sauce, seasoning packets, and instant bases can erase every advantage in a few spoonfuls. Fresh herbs, garlic, ginger, or a squeeze of lemon bring flavor without adding strain. Portion still counts. Even kidney-friendly food can become a burden when the bowl grows too large. In a reasonable serving, this noodle offers comfort and steady energy without pushing digestion or blood sugar to extremes. Seen this way, it becomes more than simple food. It becomes a quiet foundation that works with your body instead of against it, light, flexible, and easy for the kidneys to live with day after day. That is why it earns the first place on this list, not for being fancy, but for giving the kidneys something they rarely receive, a gentle night at work. Number 2, rice noodle sheets. Most people see these noodles only as the soft layer floating in a bowl of pho or folded on a plate at a family dinner. They feel familiar, ordinary, almost invisible. Yet this simple sheet of rice can speak a very gentle language to the kidneys. There is a common belief that all noodles are heavy food, something the body must fight to process. With wheat noodles that can be true, but rice noodle sheets follow a different path. They are made from only rice flour and water, nothing complicated, nothing hidden. That simplicity is exactly why many kidneys tolerate them better than expected. Your kidneys care less about tradition and more about chemistry. Packaged noodles often carry added phosphorus and stabilizers that never appear on the front label. Over time, those extras can quietly build in the bloodstream and ask the kidneys to work harder than they should. Rice noodle sheets, in their traditional form, usually arrive without that baggage. Digestion tells the next part of the story. These noodles are soft before they even reach the stomach. The body does not need to fight them, chew them down, or spend hours breaking them apart. Easier digestion means fewer byproducts, and fewer byproducts mean a lighter night shift for the kidneys. A retired teacher once shared her experience with me. She loved noodles, but noticed she felt puffy every morning after her usual wheat dishes. When she changed to rice noodle sheets with a simple broth, nothing dramatic happened, just quieter mornings and fewer midnight trips to the bathroom. Small change, steady result. The real advantage of rice noodle sheets often comes from how they are served. They usually arrive in warm liquid, and hydration is one of the kidney's closest allies. When the body has enough fluid, filtration becomes smoother, toxins move out instead of lingering, and the kidneys can work at a natural pace. But this is where many meals take a wrong turn. A salty broth can cancel every benefit in a single bowl. Excess sodium tells the body to hold water and pushes blood pressure higher, two pressures the kidneys feel immediately. The goal is a clear, lightly seasoned base, not a flavor contest. If you cook at home, simmer bones or vegetables slowly, skim the surface, and season at the very end. If you eat out, asking for less salt or adding a little hot water can quietly rescue the meal. These are small decisions with large consequences. Protein needs a gentle hand as well. Thin slices of chicken, fish, or a modest portion of beef are enough. More meat does not mean more health. Too much protein creates more waste for the kidneys to clear, especially overnight when the body is supposed to rest. Vegetables complete the bowl when they are chosen wisely. Fresh herbs, onions, bean sprouts, and small amounts of cabbage bring fiber and movement to digestion without overwhelming potassium levels. Fiber matters because it guides waste out through the gut instead of sending everything to the kidneys. Sauces are the hidden trap. Hoisin, thick chili pastes, and extra fish sauce can turn a friendly meal into a heavy burden. Flavor does not need to be loud to be satisfying. Lime, ginger, basil, and a touch of garlic add brightness without adding pressure. Portion is another quiet detail. A medium bowl usually serves the body better than an oversized one. When the stomach is not overloaded, blood sugar stays steadier, and the kidneys receive a calmer flow to filter through the night. Seen as a whole, rice noodle sheets offer a rare balance: hydration, simple carbohydrates, and gentle digestion in one meal. They do not heal kidneys, and they do not erase years of habits. What they can do is give the filtration system a respectful day instead of another exhausting shift. That is why this noodle earns the second place on the list. Not for being special, but for being kind. kind to digestion, kind to fluid balance, and kind to the kidneys that quietly work for you while you sleep. Number 3. Rice flat noodles. On many evenings, this noodle appears almost by accident, a quick bowl after work, a simple dinner when nobody has the strength to cook anything elaborate. It carries no reputation, no health label, only the quiet promise of being easy to eat. Yet inside the body, it often behaves very differently from the heavier starches we are used to. Many foods enter digestion like a crowded suitcase that needs to be unpacked piece by piece. This noodle arrives more like a folded shirt. Its texture is soft, its ingredients are straightforward, and it usually comes without the chemical extras that follow so many processed options. That simplicity can decide whether the kidneys spend the night in calm rhythm or constant overtime. From a kidney point of view, the first advantage is what the meal does not bring. It is naturally low in potassium and very low in fat. When meals deliver large amounts of those nutrients, the kidneys must work harder to keep the blood balanced. A lighter profile allows the filtration system to stay in rhythm instead of fighting to catch up. Digestion adds the next piece of the story. These noodles soften quickly and break down with little effort. When the stomach does not struggle, fewer waste products are created, and the kidneys receive a gentler flow to filter through the night. Easy digestion today often becomes easier mornings tomorrow. A neighbor once described this in everyday words. After years of eating heavier wheat noodles, he felt swollen and thirsty every morning before work. When his wife began serving rice flat noodles with a mild broth, he noticed he woke up feeling clearer, not dramatic, just more like himself. Small changes, steady results. Energy balance matters as well. These noodles provide clean carbohydrates without the weight of oils or rich sauces. That steadier fuel helps keep blood sugar from jumping too high, and stable blood sugar is one of the quiet guardians of long-term kidney health. The kidneys prefer calm fuel over sudden spikes. Preparation decides whether the bowl stays friendly. Cook the noodles only until tender, never until sticky. Overcooking raises their glycemic impact and turns a gentle meal into a restless one. After draining, keep them free from oily dressings and thick gravies that slow digestion and cloud the benefits. When the noodles are served in soup, the broth becomes part of the therapy. Warm liquid supports hydration and helps the kidneys move waste out instead of letting it settle in the blood. But the same warning returns every time. Too much sodium changes everything. A clear, lightly seasoned broth helps the body. A salty base works against it. Protein should play a modest role. Small portions of chicken, fish, shrimp, or lean pork are enough to nourish without flooding the kidneys with excess waste. More meat does not mean more strength. For the kidneys, balance always speaks louder than abundance, especially as the body gets older. Vegetables finish the picture. Lettuce, cucumbers, carrots, and a handful of bean sprouts bring fiber that guides waste through the digestive tract. When the gut carries part of the load, the kidneys are allowed to breathe instead of doing all the lifting alone through the night. The quiet danger hides in bottled flavor. Extra fish sauce, packaged seasonings, or thick sweet sauces can erase the benefit in seconds. Real taste can come from green onions, fresh herbs, a slice of lime, or a touch of ginger. Flavors that wake the meal without waking the kidneys. Portion size deserves respect. A reasonable bowl gives comfort and steady energy. An oversized serving stretches digestion, pushes blood sugar higher, and keeps the kidneys busy long after the lights are off. Eating slowly and stopping before full is one of the simplest acts of kindness you can offer your body. Seen clearly, this noodle is not powerful because of what it adds, but because of what it avoids. It is easy to digest, light in the minerals that burden the kidneys, and flexible enough to build a balanced meal around. Prepared with care, it allows the body to finish its nightly cleanup without resistance. That is why it holds the third place on this list. not for being exciting, but for knowing how to be gentle, and for giving the kidneys something rare, a quiet, manageable night at work. When you put all three noodles side by side, the picture becomes much clearer. White rice vermicelli offers simplicity, low in minerals, easy to digest, and gentle enough to keep the kidneys from working overtime. Rice noodle sheets bring hydration into the meal, helping the body flush waste with less resistance when the broth stays light and low in sodium. Rice flat noodles add steady energy without the heaviness of fat or additives, giving digestion and filtration a calmer rhythm through the night. None of these foods are miracles, and they do not replace medical care. What they offer is something more practical, a way to enjoy familiar meals without silently exhausting the kidneys day after day. Small choices, repeated often, shape how your body feels tomorrow morning. If this video helped you understand your meals a little better, subscribe so you don't miss the next guide. Tell me in the comments which noodle is part of your routine and how your body reacts after you eat it. Real experiences help this community learn together. Take care of your kidneys, and they will take care of you.